three sets, S1, S2 and S3. So S1 is one set, S2 is another set, and S3 is third set, that is output set. So one class or one object will just represent one set. So all the things that we are performing on S, so this is an array. Length is stored in the length variable itself, and S2 is another object, S3 is another object. So this, we are playing with these three objects here. So in this case, member of function, if we call member of function for a particular object and we want to check whether that number that we are passing to this function is a member of or not, it will return false. So just first we'll cross check whether member of function is working fine or not, then we'll go for union. This is how we can do modular programming, one function at a time. So this is bracket of our class. In main, what you have to do is you have to create object of set class. Set S1 is equal to new set. Here I'll pass value, say 4. Set S2 is equal to new set. Because I'm using parameterized constructor, again I'm passing value 4. And I want to call accept function for S1. I want to accept values in S1. I want to accept values in S2. Just check whether these functions are working or not. And then we'll check whether some variable, say, is a member of. So for example, I have to check whether 5 is member of S1. Or 10, say 3 is member of, 4 is member of S1 or S2, you can check it. And we need to print. So after accepting, we'll print it, S1 dot display function. We have written display function, S2 dot display. And it will return true and false, that we want to print system dot out dot println. We'll just print this, whether it is returning true or false. This part is where we have created a set class, constructor and methods. So this is encapsulation, and here we are implementing the application using set class. Here we are creating the objects, calling these methods of the class, and checking whether this one is a member of a set or not. Let's see whether this will work or not. Semicolon missing. Enter elements of a set. So I'll see 1, 2, 3, 4. Printing 1, 2, 3, 4. Some problem with /n, but it has displayed the correct members. Then next is 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm entering the members elements for set 2. So what I'm doing is I want to check whether 5 is member of set 1. So it is displaying false. Next statement is whether 4 is member of set 1. It is displaying true. If you want to check any other number, suppose example 5 in set 2. So you have to call this S2 dot member of, and it will display true. If I give same input 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 is member of set 2. So now it has displayed 2. True. So member of function is working fine. So I can use member of function while adding elements to my array here. So here I will check if b dot a of I want to call member of function for a, the current object. So I have to use this dot member of. I have to check whether the element which is present in B is a member of my result variable. If this is true, then only copy that particular. If this is not true, then if member of is equal to false. If this is not true, if it is not a member, then we have to copy that element from array of B to my array. Here we are dealing with 3 of I which belongs to set A of I which belongs to set B. Wait a minute, I have to charge my laptop. And A of I for a result. So this A of I is the function or the object who is calling union function. And this is A's A of I and this is B's A of I. So here this bracket is for if, this is for this is for union, and this is for class. And here we'll create one more object, set S3. Note that here I am creating this set with size say 8 here because I want union, and here S3 dot, what should I do, union, and I'll pass S1 comma S2. And here I want to display, I'll call display function S3 dot display result. System dot out dot println union is. Let me check display function again. I have to use print. So elements of the set, I'll give 1, 2, 3, and 4. Enter elements of set 3, 4, 5, 6. Union is 1, 2, 3, 4. It has copied all those things and it has written 0, 0, 0. What we want here, the common element, the elements which are not common. We have to write A of I, but which A of I? B is A of I. Oh, we haven't copied it. If it is false, then B dot A of I we want to copy here in A dot I. I haven't completed this bracket. Member of is this will return true, and if this true is equal to false, so this if true equal to true. Mm, or what I can do is not member of. The eyes of, okay, wait, it will again start from zero. Sorry. The problem is not of the, problem is not with the false. Problem is with the initialization of I. For example, here I'm using integer I, and here again I started from zero. I should start for B, I should start from zero, but for A, I should start from whatever the value of I finished here. That is, it should start from last index, that is 4. Are you getting? For example, let me explain you with this Word document. Initially, we added 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our index of I is now 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we want to add element here. But as in next for loop, we said I is equal to 0. So I will be added at 0th location only. So it will add I 5, 6 and 3, 4 as it is. So that's why we are getting that answer, and last four values 0, 0, 0. So what I have to do here is, or instead of union, I'll just explain you intersection. That will be easy for you to understand. Intersection. So in case of intersection, if this is member of A of I, if you got it true, then only copy it. Else you are not going to copy it. Only one. If it is a member of A and this dot member of member of finished with union, this member of B of I is equal to false. So let me copy this integer I in some variable, say integer k is equal to I. I is already incremented, so I have to decrement it. And here in k, I have to copy this value and k plus plus. Okay, so till a is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, when a becomes 4, you'll come out of this loop. Then this a should be 4. So no need to decrement I, it should be I. I have copied it in k, and that a of k starting from 4, 5, 6, 7 till the length I is less than length of b. You have to copy the elements of b into a of I. If that number is not present. When you come out of the for loop, the variable is not available. The scope of this variable I is only for the for loop. And if here I am trying to use that particular variable, Java is giving me error. That's why I have to declare these variables like this instead of defining in the particular loop. That's why I ask you, you need to do practice and you should get the errors. First, declare the variable int k and then initialize it with I. Okay, variable is already declared. So enter elements of set A. I'm again taking the same example. That's because we are already working on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it has taken these variables 25, 6, 3, 41 and 1, 2, 3, 41. And you got the output as 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You this first set is copied as it is, and from second set it has copied only 25 and 6. It hasn't copied 3 and 4. These values are blank. So size of this array is this one. So you got the union of two sets. You can work on intersection. Intersection is you have to take only common elements. So if you want to write a function for intersection, you have union function and you want intersection of two sets. Intersection of set A and set B. So what is intersection means? The element which is present in A and also present in B, then only you have to add. So you need here two for loops. For I is equal to 0 and j is equal to 0 for every element. Look here in this variable. For every element, you will search the second set whether that variable is or then that number is present in second set. If it is present, then add it in the result. Now 1 is not present in the set 2, so we will discard it. 2 is not present in set 2, no need to copy it. 3 is present in set 2, so copy it in result set. 4 is present in second set, so copy it here. So we are going to use that particular logic. So this I is for first array, that is first set. J is for second set. And we'll check if A dot A of I we'll call this member of function for B array and we'll check with element of A is present in B. No need of this for loop. Our member of function will do that task for us. If this is a member of, for every element of A, we'll check whether this element of A, say 1 is member of B. If S, then copy that variable into A of I. No need of K. That's it. So if it is a member, if variable of number which is present in A also present in B, then only we'll copy it in a result array, otherwise will not. So that is for intersection. So to check whether intersection of two numbers, we'll use S3 only. No need to create a new function. Intersection S1 comma S2. Intersection is S3 dot display. So here we have created a class void intersection function. In one for loop, we'll scroll or we'll go through all elements of A, and for every element of A, we'll check whether that is present in B. If the element is present in B, then only we'll copy that element of A into our result array. And we'll get the intersection. And that intersection will display it. There is one extra bracket. Okay, one bracket is missing for intersection function. Okay, instead of, I'll create one more set, S4 with size say 4. and I'll call intersection function for S4 instead of S3. So enter elements of set 1, 2, 3, 4. You can enter any values. Then enter elements of set. Another set is 3, 4, 5, 6. So union is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct. Intersection is 3, 4. Okay. You are getting correct intersection. This is very basic code. You can modify it as per your need. Instead of showing all those zeros here, extra zeros, you can eliminate it. You can add more functions like XOR, XNOR, etc. for this set class if you want. Our next topic is string. So you might have studied strings in C or C++. In C or C++, strings are nothing but array of characters. You have to create array of characters as a string. But in Java, string is a data type or a class, inbuilt class, which is in java.lang package. String is commonly used class in Java's library. String you create is actually an object of type string. So string is inbuilt class like set, or yesterday we have created a stack. Similarly, string is a class, but it is in java.lang package. The string constants are usually string objects. So this is a string. Whatever you write in double quotes, it is a string. So this is string 2 is string object. Object of same type of string is immutable. The meaning of immutable is once a string object is created, its contents cannot be altered. You cannot change. If you need to change a string, you always create one that contains the modification. So new object gets created. If you do some changes in the string, Java automatically creates another string and put newly or modified string on at new location, but original string will remain as it is. So you can use string class, or you can create a string object with the help of string class. There is a string buffer class and string builder class. So these are different classes available in Java to play with the strings. Normally string objects are used which are immutable, but if you want to modify the strings, you can go with string buffer or string builder. String buffer and string builder allows string alterations or modifications. So this is how we can create a string. No need to put array operator here, so opening and closing curly braces. You can create a string as that of any object. String my string is equal to this is a test. So it will create and initialize object at the same time. And you can display string using println my string. So here instead of my string, it will display this is the test. You can concatenate two strings without calling any string concat function. Only plus operator is sufficient to concat two strings. So if I write string my string is equal to in double quotes I like Java, and if I print it system.out.println my string, it will print output like this, I like Java, as a one complete string. Why you are getting spaces here? Because we have deliberately put a space character before and after like, if you can see here. More on the strings we can see in the next lecture. I'll share this file with you. Set class. I want you to add XOR function. What is a XOR function? XOR function is which are not common. If you write XOR function of S1 and S2. So XOR function means which is not in S1 and S2. One is present in S1 but not in S2. So 1 will be the output in XOR. So in XOR set, 1 will come because 1 is present in S1 but not in S2. 2 will come because 2 is present in S1 but not in S2. 3 and 4 will not come because 3 and 4 are common between S1 and S2, and 5 and 6 will come. So XOR is characters which are not, the numbers which are not common between S1 and S2. So I ask you to implement this function XOR. Add this function. We already have union and intersection. So you can use union and intersection to calculate XOR, if you can think of. I'll download this program and share it with you. And you have to add XOR function. Note that this is not the test. This is not your lab assignment. It is just for practice. And if you are getting any errors, feel free to contact me. Java is all about practice.